The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour.
ChatGPT did become the world's most downloaded non-gaming app.
Literally the job of everyone in government to address the media and the public.
What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts on Zandy Silva as the deputy PLP leader?
A community that can't feed itself is a community that do.
What you may not know, though, is that Bermuda, we have a connection with Epstein, too.
Things that people are doing right, the youth are doing right, that is not being advertised enough.
When you see your access to U.S. dollars disappear, that's when you have a problem.
If you've got a town in the UK with a similar sized population, this place absolutely outshines it.
It's Wednesday, the 15th day of July, 2026. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. This is the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC, Bermuda Medical House, Linders, People's Pharmacy, and Big Love to Hot 1075 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. I'm Jamal Hart. So smiling like this morning. I shouldn't tell you all that. I forgot to put my lotion on my face, my cream, that I've using this Enzori. Keisha Turrell's just got this product Enzori. I forgot to put it on this morning. And, I feel like my face is very dry. Like you can see it's cracking. It feels kind of dry. I probably overshared. I probably shouldn't have said that, huh? But no, you feel it. You feel it. But I'm laughing because I'm like, I always wonder if you all can see stuff. But yeah, no, kind of maybe during the commercial break because I don't want our guests looking at me all dry like that. But happy Wednesday to you all. Happy middle of the traditional work week. It's hump day, as some of you call it. Greetings to you all, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. Sexual assault awareness and prevention. Yes, tough topic that we're going to be discussing this morning. We've got Chief Inspector Derricka Burns of the Bermuda Police Service and Laurie, Sheill, the Executive Director of Center Against Abuse, joining us to discuss this very important topic. The Daily Play is going to be entertainment today. And audience, don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Claire Warner says, good morning, Jamal, and good morning, Bermuda. It's okay. You look good. I appreciate you, and great morning to you as well. Claire Warner. Charles H. Jefferson II says, yes, we can see stuff. Yeah, I guess I am stuff, Charles. Appreciate you. All right, folks, let's jump right into today's question. And again, folks, I have been sharing the blogs that I'll be reading on this show on thedailyhour.com. So if you go on the homepage and you just go down bottom, you can follow along. The question of this morning is, what are your thoughts on the race for deputy leader of the PLP? That's the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party. All right, well, the PLP leadership race is getting even more interesting, with Minister Tanae Furbert announcing her intention to run for deputy leader of the Progressive Labor Party. There are now potentially 4 vying for that position. Former ministers Michael Weeks and Lawrence Scott announced recently. Current deputy leader Zandy Silva hasn't ruled himself out, and now Minister Furbert has joined them. That means, as it stands today, there are 6 people seeking 2 of the most senior positions within the PLP. Now, some will look at that and say it's a sign of a healthy democracy. Competition is good. Leadership shouldn't simply be handed to someone. If multiple people believe they have something to offer, why not let the delegates decide, right? Others will ask a different question. Why do so many people believe they're the right person to lead? Now, I'll say something I've said many times. I don't particularly like politicians. I don't. But I also think it's important to separate politics from people. The individuals who've put their names forward are, in my opinion, decent people. They can each make a case for why they should be elected. At the same time, people can make a case against each of them as well. And I guess that's politics. What's been interesting to me is watching how some of these candidates have approached their campaigns. Remember, delegates will ultimately decide who becomes leader and deputy leader, not the general public. Yet we've seen public meetings, meet and greets, press conferences, and plenty of public engagement. Is that a smart strategy? On one hand, if you're hoping to one day lead Bermuda, building a relationship with the public makes perfect sense, right? On the other hand, if delegates are the only ones voting, does spending time appealing to the wider public actually help, or could it irritate the very people whose support you need most? Another thing that caught my attention recently was a conversation I had with a former government minister. I asked him why he seemed to have gone from supporting Premier Burt over Curtis Dickinson in the last leadership race to now supporting Mr. Dickinson. His response was interesting. He said he was never anti-Dickinson. He was simply supporting David Burt at the time. Fair enough, I guess. But if there's one thing we've learned over the years, it's that alliances in politics can change very quickly. Today's rival can become tomorrow's ally, and today's ally can become tomorrow's opponent. As we get closer to this internal leadership election, it'll be interesting to see whether everyone stays in the race, whether endorsements begin to shape the outcome, and whether relationships inside the party shift as delegates prepare to cast their votes. Whatever happens, these decisions won't just impact the PLP. They'll likely shape Bermuda's political landscape for years to come. So that being said, you see the question of the morning. What are your thoughts on the race for deputy leader of the PLP? And I'll give you your poll question when we come back. All right? Stick with us. Do not go anywhere.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the big show. So look, you see the question of the morning. What are your thoughts on the deputy leader race within the PLP? And here's the poll question, folks. Here's the poll question. Should PLP candidates campaign beyond the delegates? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Personally, I don't mind the public campaign. I don't. But don't act like you're focusing on internal party members and then have a public campaign. I don't mind a public campaign because at the end of the day, you're governing for the public, right? But I do also understand how it could irritate the delegates by people simply going to the public knowing that it's an internal election. I get it. But I like the idea. I love the idea of the general public getting to know people and their ambitions and their plans if they were to become leader. Now, as far as those who've made their names, known for the deputy leader position, and again, Minister Tanae Furbert announced yesterday, we've had Michael Weeks, one of the only 2 people I voted for, who I've told you I would vote for Michael Weeks as the leader of the party. I always say I find it incredibly stupid. Yeah, I said stupid, how people would vote for someone that they wouldn't trust to lead Bermuda. Like, why would you when I hear people saying, well, if not Curtis or Jason, who? How do you vote for someone in politics and you wouldn't trust them to be the premier if that opportunity came? Like, that says more about us as voters than it does the people putting their names forward, right? But I say that because you've got Minister Tanae Furbert, Michael Weeks, and Lawrence Scott. And as far as I know, Zandy Silver, the current deputy leader and Minister of Housing, hasn't ruled himself out. But I don't, I'm not quite sure if I remember him saying he was running. But in their own right, they are 4 decent candidates. All have held ministries at some point. No, I shouldn't say no scandals. One may have some alleged stuff by their name. But for the most part, as mentioned in my monologue, each of them can make a strong case to lead Bermuda, let alone be deputy leader, right? But I don't know if this is necessarily a sign of a healthy democracy. Like, do they not communicate within the party? Do they not have conversations about, look, it's only, how many is it? 24 MPs? So out of 24 MPs, that's who you have to choose from. So 6 of the 24 are vying for the top 2 positions. Now, I was speaking to someone about Minister Tanae Furbert last night, and I agree with what they said. I've never been one. Look, you all know me. I'm not down with the D to the E to the I. Miss me with the diversity, equity, and inclusion, whatever. Miss me with it. I don't like that stuff. I believe if I want to see people there because they belong. I don't want favors. Now I understand the purpose of the D to the E to the I. I get it, but I think in agreement with someone last night. The minister probably should have put her name in the hat for the leadership. I think if a strong woman in the PLP put their name forward, it could shake up the leadership race. And if you ask me, you've got Renee Ming, who has a strong personality, but I doubt she would do it because I think she's aligned with Curtis Dickinson. Kim Wilson, not my favorite person, probably the only minister I've told you I really don't like on this show. That's me being too honest again, isn't it? But I've said it on the show, but she has the experience in terms of years. One of the longest serving ministers. You would think that a person with her pedigree would aspire to be leader. Maybe not. Back from the backbench, you've got Levita Fogo. Well respected, served in cabinet at one point. So I do agree. I think that there are capable women who could shake up these races. But I think what concerns me about this is that I was speaking to a Canadian guy some years ago, and folks, this is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. I was speaking to a Canadian guy some years ago, and he said, it amazes me that in a country of 330 plus million, it always comes down to 2. So I think Bermuda, in this instance, PLP, it can be considered healthy that we have 4 people vying for deputy leader. But why only 2 for the leadership? I'm sorry. But there's a lot of time between now and October as far as someone throwing their head in the ring. My thoughts on the deputy leader race is that I think Minister Tanae Furbert should have went for the leadership. I truly believe that. I'm not here to advise her. I'm not using bias. I didn't, I know you all used to say, oh, she's one of my favorites. No, this has nothing to do with me liking her or not. I just believe that she may have sold herself short in not going for the leadership. I do. And I don't think, let's say Curtis Dickinson becomes the next premier. And if he's truly different from David Burt, and what I mean by different from David Burt, a lot of people will forget what the Honorable former Premier Ewart Brown did. When Dr. Brown became premier, I remember people, he was NT Jennifer Smith, they said, right? And one of the first people he made as part of his cabinet, and I believe this person was part of their cabinet the entire time, was a person known to be one of Dame Jennifer's best friends, Colonel Birch. And Dr. Brown basically at the time was like, this is not about who I like and dislike. This is about getting the job done. It was one of those relationships people thought was odd at first. Where am I going with this? If Minister Tanae Furbert, if a Renee Ming were to put their name in the leadership battle. And Curtis Dickinson wins, not choosing them because they chose to run against him. That's taking us back to where David Burt is. Dr. Brown wanted the best people on his team. And that's what I'm hoping that I'm not saying Curtis Dickinson will win because I know people say, well, what about Jason? Regardless of who wins, my hope that is if Jason Hayward wins, he would offer Curtis Dickinson a seat in cabinet. This is not about liking and disliking people. This is about what's best for Bermuda. That's it. Let's go to the audience. What are your thoughts, folks, on the race for deputy leader of Bermuda? And also the poll question, should PLP candidates campaign beyond the delegates? 1 for yes, 2 for no, 50-50 right now. Let's see what you all are saying. We've got Charles H. Jeffs II says, in 2022, we saw that the delegates don't care what the public thinks. Every poll I saw then, Dickinson had overwhelming support, but the delegates' vote didn't reflect that same support. I was gung-ho for Curtis Dickinson back then. I was disappointed. I was probably more disappointed than Curtis Dickinson and Renee Ming back then. I was. I was not in favor of David Burt then. I was not in favor of David Burt now. But I must ask this question. I said it a couple months ago. I said it a couple weeks ago. The delegates will feel they listened to the general public in choosing Madam Paula Cox over Terry Lister back in 2010. How'd that work out for them? Kelly Clark Medeiros says, how long do women stay in leadership positions in politics? May help us to understand. Well, Dame Jennifer was PLP leader from what, 96 to 2003, was it, folks? Or yeah, was it 96 to 2003? So she was there for quite a while. Paula Cox was there from 2010 October to 2012 December, just over 2 years, but she was out due to an election loss. Dame Pamela Gordon was there from, was it May of 97 to November of 98, or it might have been a bit longer. But I don't think we have this problems in Bermuda. I don't think comparing women and men the way we do in other jurisdictions, we don't have that problem in Bermuda. I don't think people don't choose people because they're women in Bermuda politics. Dame Jennifer was not an anomaly. Trust me. She was I hope I can say this without being disrespectful. She was a pit bull. She was a natural leader. She was, she did something that no PLP leader had done till David Burt became John Swan Jr. She won 2 elections back to back. She's the only woman to win an election in Bermuda, or lead a party to a general election. So I don't think we, when people bring up the women argument, I don't think it holds weight in Bermuda politics when the right woman, and this is why do away with DEI to me. I don't buy into it. I don't like the idea of it. I think that many in the PLP have shown that when they have the ability, or not just PLP, but period, when they have the ability to lead, they can do the job just as well as anyone else. And that's why it would be my hope that one of the strong women in the PLP would run as leader, not to make up numbers or not to satisfy a quota, but because they're good enough. They're good enough. They have the ability, they have the talent, they have the background to do it. I want to see that. We've got Suzanne Ingham says, no, Jamal, you're never too honest. Always speak the truth, good, bad, or ugly. Truth is better. I don't know. I don't know if people like the truth like that. We've got One Love Bob Marley says, if you wish CD to be a leader, Curtis Dickinson of the PLP premier, become a member of the party, get involved in your constituency, and vote for delegates that will support CD. It's that easy. I think that's stupid as well. I'm going to use that word a lot this morning because I think we have to be harsh at times. The whole idea, I've had people, civil servants, tell me, oh, I don't know how they got my email, but I got an email to attend some women's thing for Curtis Dickinson. They're reaching out to get us to sign up as PLP members. If breaking the very fabric of your party to win a leadership contest is what you think leadership is, then just go and start a new party. Just go and start a new party. I'm sorry. A membership drive shouldn't be just about getting people to join so that I can win a popularity contest. A membership drive should be about getting people who align, challenge, and offer value that can help this party improve the way Bermuda is governing. I'm sorry, I don't agree with telling people, oh, sign up. The OBA did it last year. Oh, but with the OBA, just members can vote, it's not delegates. I just think that's crazy. So I'll be very vulnerable with you. So I voted in a couple US elections, and they have these, what they call them, primaries, I guess. And I didn't know, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. Like I'm an independent, right? And I didn't know that I could still vote during the primaries, but you can only vote either Republican or Democrat. So I look, you have to vote for the waterman in this place. Like I don't even know who the waterman is, right? But I say that because I don't know if me, for instance, being a non-registered Democrat or non-registered Republican, going and deciding who should be the Republican or Democrat on a ticket is genuine and it's not honest. You literally could get all the union members in Bermuda who could be supporters of Jason Harewood to become members and shape things. You can literally get everyone who doesn't even like the PLP, who literally hate the PLP in various sectors to come on board, join, just to win a popularity. That ruins the very fabric of what the party is not what it was anyway. But you take my point? Anyway, we've got Charles H. Jeffs II says, I agree. Good, strong leadership is about surrounding yourself with the best people. Even if there are differences, differences are actually good as opposed to an echo chamber where everyone agrees. Yeah, we need that. We absolutely need that. And that's my hope in the next leader. Now, I don't know if David Burt fired people because of their politics. I honestly don't know. I speculate, right? Like many of you, I can speculate. I don't know about you. I can tell you all the time. I will walk in a room with 100 people who don't look like me, speak like me, sound like me, think like me. I'm okay with that. I am okay with, many of us are not okay with that. Many of us want to be in echo chambers. Many of us want to be in echo chambers. We don't remove our bias from situations. You know, my former lawyer said, and we've got to bring our guests in, folks. We've got to bring our guests in. But my former lawyer said, and I had many lawyers, folks, you know, divorce, business, you know, mom said, I've had some lawyers, right? See, I'm telling you my business now. Anyway, but one of my former lawyers for conscription said, when considering who to vote for, we need to ask ourselves, how did this person's leadership or lack thereof benefit us since the last time they needed our vote? I don't have a vote. I don't even think I'm a member of the PLP anymore. I ain't paid dues in years, and I never pay it lifelong. So I'm definitely not a delegate. But when I was in that party, I made my vote count. I've been very public with you. When it came down to Michael Weeks and Lou Matthews, I voted for Dr. Lou Matthews, not Michael Weeks. But when Michael Weeks got there, You can ask him. I supported that man like he was my grandfather, my godfather, my uncle. That's what I believe. I wasn't a child, take my toys and go home. That's what we need. After the 2022 election, David Burt should have been on the phone with Curtis Dickinson. Curtis Dickinson should have been on the phone with David Burt. Because why? It's not about their egos. It's about Bermuda. A couple more things, and we'll go to commercial. And I got to give days of the year too. Kelly Clark Madeira says, Tanae will be an amazing leader. She understands people. I wonder if she'd reconsider deputy leader and run for leader. I do wonder. I'm not saying that she'll make the best leader or she'll win it, but why deputy leader? Why not leader? We've got Sherilyn Pringle says, good morning, TDH family. I'm not joining any party. On election day, I vote for who I vote for. I think we rock together. We rock together. We rock together. Michael Daniels says, Minister Ferbert is good in her present ministry. To become deputy leader will dilute her attention to that ministry. Here's the thing. She's got one of the easiest ministries as far as scrutiny, right? She's well-spoken, right? She doesn't come across like your typical politician, as someone said, like a cutthroat kind of person. But why deputy leader and not leader? That's my question. Why? Seems you all don't think that the candidate should campaign to the public. I disagree. I disagree with you in the poll. I think that while it's an internal election, I do feel that given the general public an idea of how you want to shape Bermuda from a leadership position, I think it makes sense. I do. All right, folks. Sheill Daily Discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Let's show them some love and then do a days of the year.
The Daily Discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Titan Express delivers safe, professional, and reliable transportation and tours across the island. From island tours to cultural expressions, they set their standard. And Secure is your go-to for property management, waste management, and residential and commercial services. Visit securebda.com. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is their commitment to you.
All righty, folks. It's gummy worm day. Yeah, I used to enjoy gummy worms when I was young. It is be a dork day, so I guess that's like a geek or a nerd. It's give something away day. It is World Youth Skills Day. And it's a hot dog day. So I want to ask you all, if you eat hot dogs, what condiments go on your hot dogs? Now, I have like turkey dog or it's these vegan dogs, but I stopped eating them because I'm like, I don't know what's in this stuff. Even after reading the ingredients, I'm like, I can't pronounce those words, so I'm not eating it, right? But it's hot dog day. What goes on your hot dog? Back in the day when I used to eat hot dogs, like it was just like mustard and relish. Like what else goes on a hot dog? I see people in the United States, they're just nasty over here, man. They put like chili on a hot dog. They put like cheese. I'm like, it's not a burger. They put like the chopped little onions and stuff and jalapeno. I'm like, my goodness. Just close my arteries, will you? All right, okay. To my American friends, I love you. You see me out jogging today? I'm just repeating what the audience said. You can't see their comments. All right. All right, folks. What goes on your hot dog? We've got mayonnaise, true Bermudian mayonnaise, and mustard, says Sherilyn Pringle. And sometimes add relish. We've got mayo and relish, says Laverne Tucker. We've got ketchup, mustard, and relish, Sherilyn Johnson. Okay. We've got 911 Island Girl says mayo, ketchup, relish. You just put the works, right? If I'm in the US, chili and what is that? Sakura? Is that like the Canadian stuff? Like that? I'm not judging you all. I love you. You know what? This is why we love each other. Because when we have the family barbecue, when we have the TDH family barbecue, just remind me not to look in you lot's plates. All right? Just remind me not to look in your plates. We've got chili, cheese, mustard. See, Jay Monish just went mayo and ketchup. Plain old mayo and ketchup. Mayo and relish, says Ms. Alan Kate Horton. And ketchup and honey mustard goes for chicken tenders, Charles. Honey mustard on a... This is the man that eats vegan burgers with bacon, though. So, can't say too much about him. Folks, we got to take a break. But if you, again, all the monologues I read, I know Judith Welch requested it months ago. We can continue the conversations. The monologues are on thedailyhour.com. You can write your comments and continue the conversation. We've got a lot more to discuss this week, but I'll say this and I'll say it a bit later as we wrap up. I think that of the 4 people running for deputy leader, I think 1 or 2 of them should be running for the leadership of the party. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back. Some very important guests. We've got Chief Inspector Derricka Burns and from the Bermuda Police Service, and Laurie, Sheill, the Executive Director of the Center Against Abuse. Coming up, we're discussing sexual assault awareness, prevention, supporting, and breaking the silence. You do not want to miss this most important community conversation. Stick with us.
Guess what? Bermuda's most popular game is back. That's right, Shoe Buy is back in stores. But wait, there's more. The brand new Shoe Buy Summer Edition is here too. Bring the laughs, the vibes, the friendly chaos to your barbecues and summer get-togethers with Bermuda's favorite game. Don't miss your chance to get yours. Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on social media to learn more.
One lucky bucks in the summer edition has a golden ticket with the chance to win a grand prize courtesy of One Communications.
Hi there, welcome to Medical House. We're located at number 6 Bakery Lane. I can't wait to show you all of the great stuff that we carry. Come on inside, let's see. Long days, long shifts, you no longer have to endure comfortable underwear. Designed by nurses, we now offer premium undergarments by Swoop that are unique, fun, comfortable, and functional. The only underwear you'll ever want to wear. Who says high-quality functional products can't be stylish and comfortable at the same time?
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast, so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Class of 2026. What's your next chapter? University overseas? Bermuda College? Or your first job? HSBC Bermuda can help you start strong.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Open an HSBC Bermuda bank account and receive a $100 gift card from a local retailer or Amazon.com. And every successful referral receives a $50 reward. Hurry! This limited time offer ends July 31st. Apply online at hsbc.bm/nextchapter, and within 2 business days, an HSBC team member will guide you through the final steps. Terms and conditions apply. HSBC is licensed to conduct banking and investment business by the Bermuda Monetary Authority.
I know you want to come get some. Playing around. I got the juice. I got it, no doubt.
Ever taken medication and thought, why is this hitting me so hard? Or why isn't this doing anything at all? Here's something you may not know. Your body processes medication the same way it needs to process food, using enzymes. And these enzymes metabolize medication so it can be converted into its useful form or removed from your body. Pharmacogenetics looks at how your DNA influences the way your body metabolizes or breaks down medications. It helps explain why a drug that works well for one person causes side effects in another and barely works at all for someone else. That means the same pill at the same dose can feel very different from one person to the next. It's not about blame, it's not about doing something wrong, it's simply biology. And once you know what works best for you, medication decisions stop being guesswork and start becoming personalized.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Jamel Hartman here. This is the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC, Bermuda Medicals, Linda's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airways with these most important community conversations. Folks, do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Folks, today, I forgot, it's July 15th. July 15th, 2019, I took my last alcoholic drink. Yeah, that's the last time I drank an alcoholic beverage, right? Last time I was under the influence of that stuff, man. No, let me be very clear. I wrote an article recently about that on my Substack, and you can go check it out, where I kind of shared, behind my drinking. But let me be very clear. I never quit drinking. And for the love of me, when I go to conferences and people be like, oh, would you like a drink? No, I don't drink. Oh, are you, do you know such and such? I'm like, who's that? They go to AA. Folks, just because a person doesn't drink doesn't mean that they're a part of the program. No, seriously, I got judged like that. I'm dead serious. This has happened more than once. But no, is that 7 years? I'm not the greatest man. I think 7 years, no alcohol today. And to those who rock it, congratulations to you. When you set your mind to do something and there's no addiction involved, it can be easy. One more thing. Christmas in July, we'll be giving away something else today. So you want to tune in, make sure you stick around for the hashtag. We'll be doing Christmas in July giveaway this week and next week. All right. So we've already given away a car wash, VIP car wash at Auto Solutions. We've given away Cut Match Edition and the Shoe Buy Summer Edition from Bermuda Trivia. What will we give away today? You want to stick around and find out. But we've got some very important guests coming on today. And we're having a very serious conversation. Audience, if you have any comments or questions for them, keep them concise, be very direct, and I'll get through as many as possible. If we don't get to your questions or comments, please don't take it personal, but we do have a conversation to have, and feel free to reach out to any of the individuals after the show. But let's give a warm TDH welcome to both Derricka Burns, Chief Inspector at the Bermuda Police Service, and Laurie Sheill, the Executive Director at the Center Against Abuse. Ooh, I'm trying to play my, hold on. It's not, I almost booed them, you guys. Morning. I'm sorry about that.
No, don't do us. Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you both for coming. I definitely didn't want the booing music to play. It would have been non-intentional, but I pressed the wrong button. Luckily, you didn't hear it. But welcome to the show. I must ask you both, before we jump into the seriousness of what we're discussing this morning, what goes on your hot dogs?
Mayonnaise and ketchup.
True Bermudian.
True Bermudian. Mayonnaise and ketchup.
I'm on, Laurie.
I am chili cheese girl.
That's the most Americanized hot dog. Like the most Americanized hot dog you can get. You know what? I'm gonna go with Burns. I'm gonna go.
And I started doing it with Binky Dinky Dog. Binky Dinky Dog used to have chili and cheese, and my daughter and I started doing it when they started, and I got hooked.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a basic girl. I'm not venturing out like that. Simple, mayonnaise and ketchup, and let's leave it like that.
Leave it like that. Okay. Yeah, I mustard and relish myself, but both of you, thank you for your patience. Thank you for coming on. As mentioned, this is a very serious topic that I saw something posted by the Bermuda Police the other day, and it really struck me. I think the post said, under the influence means no, or something to that effect. And I hope people understood what it meant, because what I took from it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong as we jump into the conversation, is if you're not sure, if you're both inebriated or not in your right state, then the answer is no. But speak to us. Sexual assault, it's an issue that's often difficult to talk about, right? It's a serious topic. And silence allows that to continue. But in a small community like Bermuda, why is it so important for us to have these conversations openly?
Yes, so I agree. We don't talk about it enough. It is something that affects people on this island. I don't have the figures of this year, but we average about 40 to 50 cases reports to the police a year, which is a lot. So it's important that we educate our public so they know what to do, they know what to expect. And it's important to get those conversations out there because, like you said, if we don't address it, the perpetrators out there, they commit one act and then they go on to commit more acts. And then we have victims that are affected by this. So it's important to get the message out. And I will just jump right in and just let everyone know what sexual assault means.
Yes, please.
It's basically any unwanted sexual contact or activity that happens without someone's consent. And we'll get into what consent means. And you touched on one of the points earlier. But it can range from forced kissing to touching someone for sexual purpose, groping someone's, private parts. And then obviously we have intercourse, or otherwise known as rape, right? So yeah, it's a wide range of things. It's an offense under our criminal code. So, it's out there.
Yeah. Laurie, did you want to add anything to that?
Sure. So, Jamal, when we keep silence about sexual assault, we protect the abuser. It also makes the victim feel like they're isolated because no one's talking about it. It builds up shame within them. It feels like if they tell someone, they're not going to believe. So it's important that we have these conversations, that we talk about it often, that we let abusers know that they will be prosecuted, that there are people out there that are looking out for them, that we speak about what these abusers are doing, but also that we talk to victims and let them know that we support them, we're here for them in the long run, and also that we want to make sure that they also understand that it's a community of people that will sit and listen to them without judgment, regardless of how it happened and where it happened and when it happened.
Thank you. I just want to say to those tuned in on the radio, we're talking to Chief Inspector Derricka Burns for the Bermuda Police Service and Laurie Sheill, Executive Director, Center Against Abuse. And if you have children in the car, just be conscious of the level of conversation that we're having. I just want to put that out there, that disclaimer. If you have children in the car, just be very conscious of where this conversation may go and some of the things that are said. But I want to go back to consent.
Yes.
It's central, right, in terms of preventing sexual assault, but it's also widely misunderstood by many, both, all genders, right? What do you wish everyone, especially young people, because, and I'm going to use young boys, right? I was a young boy. As young boys, hormones change, and young boys are pushy. They, as they grow older into older teens, there's different influences and things that come in. What do you wish that they knew or were told or taught about consent and healthy relationships?
Well, I'll quickly go into what consent means, and Laurie could touch on, healthy relationships. But consent basically is when two individuals agree, they both agree to engage in a sexual activity, right? It basically means yes. If they say, no, I do not want to do this, please stop, any variation or anything that may seem, conflicting, like someone's not sure, then they should just stop what they're doing, stop the act, or not do it at all. Consent is something that, sorry, let me go into what the age of consent. The age of consent is 18. You cannot give consent under 18. That's number one. So children are off limits. You cannot give consent if you are sleeping. You cannot give consent if you're unconscious. You cannot give consent if you are impaired by alcohol or drugs. You cannot give consent if you are being pressured, threatened, or coerced, or anything like that. So someone may be attacked and a weapon is used and they give into what the perpetrator is demanding. That is consent, but you cannot, that is basically a crime. You cannot give consent if you are being threatened or coerced in some form or fashion, right? And I just want people to know that consent can be withdrawn at any time. So if you are in the middle of an act and let's say you're kissing someone and then you decide that you don't want it to go any further or you want to withdraw what's happening, then consent ends. So I just want to make that important point. It can be mine at any time.
Sure. So healthy relationships, following this conversation on consent, healthy relationships are built on trust, they're built on equality, communication, and mutual respect. Young people especially need to understand that real consent should be ongoing, it should be enthusiastic, and it never should be obtained through pressure or fear, manipulation, or as Derricka said earlier, through intoxication. So it is important that when you're in that healthy relationship, any relationship, that you ensure that there is trust, equality, communication, and mutual respect.
Indeed. I want to go to the audience. Usually I'll wait, but this is an important question. Charles H. Jefferson II says, marriage does not equal consent, correct?
Correct. In Bermuda, there is a law that actually speaks to this, that you can be sexually assaulted by your spouse in Bermuda.
Yes.
So marriage does not automatically make it that consent goes out the window. You still have consent is ongoing throughout your life.
Yes, and we have had reports of partner sexual assaults.
Interesting. We did. You mentioned the age of consent being 18. Sherilyn Pringle was saying age of consent is 16. Is it 18 or 16 in Bermuda?
A child is under 18.
Under 18. Okay, got you. I want to go to the survivors because often in these cases, it's victims that we kind of forget about, but many just don't report what's happened to them, right? From both a policing and a support perspective, what are some of the biggest barriers that prevent people from coming forward? Is it fear? Is it like what stops them?
Yeah, well,
go ahead. So I would say from our perspective, when it comes to survivors, many don't come forward because of the small community that we live in. They don't want people to be in their business. They don't want everyone knowing what happened to them. So they fear others staring at them when they walk down the street, people knowing what's going on. They don't want to be blamed. They don't want to be judged. They may know who sexually assaulted them, and that can also make reporting feel a little weird, having to retell your story over and over for some people. Some people don't report because, bottom line, they're just not ready. They may be still in a state of shock in reference to what happened to them. And so sometimes it takes a bit for people to report. But thankfully, when it comes to sexual assault, there are no statutes or limitations when it comes to reporting. And I will let Derricka speak further on that.
All right.
Yes, so Laurie is correct. You can report at any time. So we've had cases where someone may be an adult and they were sexually assaulted when they were a child, and they've come to us and reported it, and that case has actually been to court and we've had a conviction. So there is no limit. It does not expire, sexual assault. So people can report it at any time. There's no rush to, if somebody wants to think about it, then they have that right to do so.
Right. What and I'll get audience, if you have questions or comments, I'll get to them.
Just before you go on,
Yeah.
just before you go on to the next question, one of the things that we want to get out there to the community is that You don't always have to report to the police. You might want to come to Central Against Abuse and provide us with some of the information.
Having a bit of Wi-Fi
so
challenge.
that our clients can make informed decisions at their own pace.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just me, but I'm not really hearing
Yeah,
Laurie.
Wi-Fi challenges, Laurie, just now. It was cutting in and out. But hopefully, I think everyone.
I apologize. I have Digicel, and Digicel is not good.
For everyone to hear. Audience, I'll get to your questions and comments in a few. Stick with us. But I also want to talk about the support that both the Bermuda Police Service and the Center Against Abuse offer people who have been impacted by sexual assault. What can be done to help those who are reaching out?
Well, again, the police are there to accept any reports that come in. We're there to listen to the person, to be empathetic, to treat their complaint with confidentiality. We partner with Center Against Abuse and other agencies. So if the person needs support, we will contact, and they are an adult, we will contact Center Against Abuse. If it's a child, Department of Child and Family Services will get involved and provide support to the child or the family. And if it's a senior, we have Aging and Disability Services. And there are other agencies out there that are supportive as well. But these are the core agencies that we deal directly with when a sexual assault report is made.
Laurie, did you want to add what the Senate is?
Sure. If someone reaches out to the Center Against Abuse, they will be met with compassion, dignity, and of course, confidentiality. We provide crisis intervention, trauma-informed counseling, advocacy, safety planning. We do risk assessments as well. And we support the survivor through to recovery, If someone chooses to report to the police, we can also help them with that report and that process and support them through it. We also assist if they need to go to court. We provide them with protection orders. And if they have a criminal matter, then we will support them in the court process. If they choose not to choose not to report to the police, they can still access all of our support services, as I mentioned earlier. And Center Against Abuse and the Bermuda Police Service are also members of the Bermuda Sexual Assault Response Team, and we're in this team along with Department of Child and Family Services, as well as Aging and Disability Services. And this team comes to support a survivor of sexual assault if the sexual assault has happened within 5 days.
I want to shift gears because often we as a community, we like accountability, right? None of us escapes it. We love to put it on the police or organizations like Center Against Abuse, but what role do parents and schools and mentors and so many others, guardians, what role does the wider community play in teaching respect and understanding boundaries and healthy relationships from an early age?
I would say that teaching respect, healthy boundaries, that's all a part of prevention. And prevention begins with everyday conversations and behaviors we model. It starts when children are born, right? And should go throughout our lifetime. Parents, teachers, coaches, faith leaders, and community members, they all influence how young people understand respect, how they understand empathy, boundaries, and healthy relationships. And we need to be teaching our children that everyone has the right to say no, even if it's starting with listening to your child when they don't want to hug somebody or they don't want to speak to someone. Sometimes the child doesn't feel comfortable. And, we need to encourage, if you don't want to hug somebody, that's okay. So you're teaching them boundaries that they have that right. That respect is not negotiable, and that relationships should never involve fear or control. These are things that we always need to be teaching our children, not just in intimate partner relationships, but with friendships, with cousin and family relationships. These are things that need to be taught at a very early age. And at the Center Against Abuse, we have a program called Coaching Boys into Man, which helps young people recognize unhealthy behaviors, understand consent, and develop the confidence to change harmful attitudes among their peers. And if that's something that teachers may be interested in, we can certainly come and train them up on Coaching Boys into Man. And this is a program, while it's called Coaching Boys into Man, we piloted it with the Family Center, and the pilot was done with both males and females and was well received by women.
Coaching Boys into Men. Where can someone go to learn more about that program?
You can call Center Against Abuse. Well, you can call us because we have Digicel and our phone lines are down. But you can email us. Don't stop me with Digicel today. You can email us at info@centeragainstabuse.bm, and we will be more than happy to share some more information with you. Or when our phone lines are up, take our telephone number down, 292-4366.
All right. Chief Inspector, did you want to add anything to that as far as the role of the wife?
Yeah. I would just say parents, guardians, just know what your kids are doing. Know who, when they have sleepovers, whose houses they're going over, who is in the household. A lot of these kids nowadays have phones. Who are they talking to? I think parents should be checking phones, making sure that they're having healthy conversations. These group chats, a lot of things go on in those group chats. I just think that families should be just monitoring children's activities and just guiding them along the way. Because I have a teen, and that's where the unhealthy things start, right? Mm-hmm. So it's good for parents to just be involved, have those conversations with your children. And just guide them in the right direction.
Indeed. I promise you, I'll get to you in a few, audience. Chief Inspector, how has the Bermuda Police Service evolved in the way it investigates sexual assault cases and supports survivors during the investigative process?
Well, first I'll say that every police officer, when they go through our training school, they are taught how to deal with a sexual assault case, because 9 times out of 10, the average uniform officer is going to deal with the person. And then we have our investigators from our criminal investigations department and our vulnerable persons unit that will deal with, will investigate the cases. So they are trained individuals, and they know how to deal professionally with these sexual assault cases. When a case comes in, we would take the person's details of what has happened, and that information is used to determine next steps. So if it is a case where, let's say there's penetration, so there's a rape or some sort of case where we can gather evidence, then we call out our sexual assault response examiner. So that's a qualified nurse that comes out and performs an examination of the person. And that information is used to collect DNA evidence, is used to test later on, and can be used in the case. All
right. I got a question. I'm going to go to the audience. I'll get through as many questions and comments as possible. Charles H. Jefferson II is asking, are doctors and therapists required to report a sexual abuse case they are made aware of?
Yes.
Okay. He also.
Yes, they should.
Okay, sorry.
No, they should report it. We when someone turns up at the hospital, for example, they should be calling the police so we can investigate it.
All right. We've got Charles H. Jefferson II asking, I know it might sound crazy, but have we in Bermuda had males report being sexually abused by a female?
By a female? Not that I can think of. Laurie, how
I
about
can
you?
say
Have you had any?
that we we had the
Can't
we
hear you, Laurie.
had a male
Yeah,
report
it's breaking up.
about a female.
Yeah, it broke up big time. We couldn't understand you just now. Laurie, it was very broken up, so we couldn't make out what you were saying just now. Are you able to repeat what you were saying?
I apologize. Sure, we have had at least one male report that he was sexually assaulted by a female and did not wish to report at that time, was not ready to report to the Bermuda Police Service.
Okay. So I guess, Charles, to answer your question, it's rare to be reported. Not to say it doesn't happen, but it's rare as far as it being reported. I want to ask you, Laurie, and also, actually, if you may have an answer to this as well, Chief Inspector, what are some of the most common misconceptions people have about sexual assault and those who experience it in Bermuda?
Sure. So one of the biggest misconceptions is that sexual assault is usually committed by a stranger, and it's not. In reality, many survivors know the person who is responsible for sexually assaulting them. Another misconception is that if someone didn't fight back or report immediately, then the assault must not have happened. It's important to know that trauma affects everyone differently. Some people freeze, some become compliant because they fear for their safety, and many need time in order to process what has happened and become ready to tell their story to someone. And perhaps one of the most dangerous myths is that survivors are somehow responsible because of what they wore, where they were, or rather they had been drinking. And I'm hoping that those types of myths are no longer being held by people, and the responsibility always lies with the person who chose to commit the assault, the perpetrator.
I think another one is that false reports are common. Is not. There's probably 1% of the reports that we get. You may have one case that might be not true, but most, if not all occasions, it is a true case. And we have the offense of public mischief and perverting the course of justice if people do make false reports to the police.
I want to go back to the program for young boys, because I think we need to highlight that for people who are tuned in. I remember when the Me Too movement had gained steam in the right before the pandemic, and it opened a lot of people's eyes. Like, wow, people are coming. Like, there were people hiding. Like, oh, I hope something don't be said about them and this and that. Like, people love to knew about certain situations. It seemed that was a movement that really shaped things. It changed things about how people were speaking to their children. I remember someone had a son leaving for college, and they literally lectured them, about going out and partying. And if a woman says no, even if she's your girlfriend, you to learn. Like, how important is adding programs like what you mentioned? How important is it to ensure that people know these programs exist, so that it's not let me tell them once they're already developed and they're off to college? How do we get them to understand the importance of these programs?
I think it's important for us to go back to the beginning question and talking about how, and speaking about how we have the conversations often, right? And so it's not just about the Coaching Boys into Man program, but how often we have these conversations. So yes, the Coaching Boys into Man program is very important. It shouldn't be a one-off. You should be having it at school, at church functions, at youth group functions, football, sports that you may be involved in. So people and children are hearing them continuously, and it becomes a part of life. It almost becomes a part of, you know what, I can read that script. I know exactly what I need to do as a young person in reference to consent, in reference to healthy behaviors, in reference to dealing with somebody's asking me on a phone for intimate pictures of myself. I know exactly what to do off the bat, so that when we're having these conversations, children are armed with what to do immediately.
Yeah, and I want to say that our vulnerable persons unit, we often go out to a lot of the schools, usually the middle schools, and have sessions with the young adults, the teens, on this very topic. And I know there are other agencies out there. I believe it's One Love Bermuda. They go out as well and talk about healthy relationships. So there are agencies out there that can assist with providing this information.
We've got a comment. Sheridan Pringle says, rape has been raised by 4 categories, including sexual assault by a person with a deadly disease, serious sexual assault, and aggravated sexual assault. A person is only charged with rape if it occurred before the law was changed. And we have ASBAB2282 asking, what is the law on an individual knowingly passing on an incurable disease without disclosing their health status to their partner?
Right, so there is an offense, as mentioned. If you have intercourse with someone and you have HIV, AIDS, I believe it's hepatitis, that is covered under the law, and you can be prosecuted, whether it's consensual or not. The party has to know that they had the disease and did not disclose the information to the other party before having sexual intercourse.
So that would be considered, despite being consent, a form of sexual assault?
It's a sexual assault, yes. And I've dealt with one of those cases before.
Got you. We've got another comment. Sherilyn Pringle says, mothers, fathers should teach their sons that having sex with an older woman is not a rite of passage. It's sexual abuse, but many feel otherwise. Is this correct?
That is very correct.
And do we have these kind of cases in Bermuda? Or?
I would say they happen, but they may not become a case.
Yeah.
Right? So
and I just want to clarify one point that I made. I didn't have my ginkgo biloba today. But the age of consent is 16.
Gotcha. No worries.
Children are considered under 18, but age of consent is 16.
We have another question here. I promise I'm not going to keep you all day. Charles H. Jeffs II says, how many of those reports result in arrest, charges, and convictions as far as reported sexual assaults?
I don't have the figures. If we leave it in the, I would almost say in the hands of, but we allow victims to determine what path they want to take. So some people may come to the police and report it for information purposes. They may not want to proceed to court. So it just depends. If someone does want to make a report and they want the person dealt with, then we go out and we conduct a thorough investigation that includes arrests, that includes putting a case file together, that includes collecting all the evidence that we need to prove the charges. And then it goes to the DPP, who ultimately review it and approve what goes to court or not. I can't really comment on what happens in court. I mean, it just depends on the evidence and if it's in Supreme Court, a jury, magistrate's court, what the magistrate decides.
Before you both head out, again, these conversations are very, they're sensitive. And I think one of the things I learned today, I did not know. I remember in the U.S. there were cases like Jerry Sandusky, Penn State. That was the one that helped me think about statutes of limitation. I didn't realize there was not one in Bermuda. And what would you say to someone who maybe 20, 30 years ago something happened, but to this day they're still afraid to come forward? Like, what would you say to them if you could speak directly to them right now?
Well, I know that sexual assault, I mean, I've dealt with victims. I've been an investigator for a number of years, and I know the trauma that it has on people. People are affected for sometimes the rest of their lives. But there are helping agencies out there. There are support agencies. If you do not want to come to the police directly, Laurie and her team are there to, deal with the person, to speak with the person, and provide that support that they may need.
Indeed. Marie, did you want to add to
that? Jamal, if you could just repeat your question. My internet went out while you were asking.
No worries. I was just asking if you could, you've been talking about statute of limitations, and you've seen cases in the U.S. where people have gone back as far as 20, 30 plus years. If you could speak directly to someone who was maybe impacted many, many years ago, but they've never come forward, like, what message would you send to them today?
The message that I would send to them today is that it's never too late to get support. It's never too late to report. It's never too late to make your voice heard. And so Center Against Abuse message at the end of the day is very simple: believe, respect, and act. Believe survivors when they choose to share their story, because choosing to share your story is personal. Respect the choices of the survivor, and respect the pace that they choose to when it comes to their healing. And act by teaching consent, challenging harmful attitudes that are out there in our community, and looking out for one another. And sexual assault is never the fault of the survivor. Whether it happened yesterday, years ago, support is always available. Healing is possible, and no one has to face it alone. Center Against Abuse is creating a safer Bermuda, and it's something that we all play a part in when it comes to creating a safer Bermuda.
Indeed. Thank you both. Is there anything you would like to say before you both leave? Something that you just want to make sure that the entire community remembers and takes into account as we try to create a safer environment for people as it relates to sexual abuse, sexual assault, and preventing?
Yeah, the police are here to help. Mentioned it already. We are here to listen and to support anyone who wants to report sexual assault. We have the appropriate departments to deal with any incidents that happen. Our vulnerable persons unit, they deal with incidents involving children. They deal with incidents affecting vulnerable community. So we have the experts on hand to deal with your case, and be here to support. So we encourage people that to contact us. You can call 911 in a case of an emergency. If not, you can call our regular line at 295-0011 and speak to an officer, and you'll get the help that you need.
Laurie, real quickly, Charles H. Jefferson II is asking, what support is available for victims? Is there a cost associated with that support?
There is not a cost associated with that support. We provide services that include counseling. We provide protection orders should an individual need it. We also work with them on risk assessment, safety planning. We also may have to work with them when it comes to reporting to the police. So we will go with the survivor to walk to the police station to support them through that process of reporting. They may have already reported and just don't feel comfortable sitting in a court case by themselves. So we will also go to a court case with them, sit there and support them in any way, shape, form that they request us to do so.
Indeed. Thank you both. Thank you both for this conversation this morning. Again, to those tuning in on the radio, we were talking with Chief Inspector Derricka Burns, Executive Director of the Center Against Abuse, Laurie Sheill. Thank you for the work that you're doing. And I really hope that
like me, people learn something new from this, and we'll utilize the information to ensure that everyone feels safe in Bermuda. As I just want to share with you a couple comments before you go. Charlie Pringle said, speaking as a survivor, you do not feel better once the rapist dies. And we also have Suzanne Ingham, who said, it took me 19 years before I could even talk about it. So I think it's important for people tuning in to understand that there are people you may engage every day who have been through this and still dealing with it. As Charlene Pringle said, it doesn't go away. And there are people you may engage with who have experienced it, have never spoken about it or come forward. So thank you for highlighting this most important conversation. And I say this weirdly, but I look forward to the next one as far as, keeping the conversation alive to ensure that our community knows what to do to help others who are impacted by this. So thank you so much. Before you head out, one last question. I'm going to ask Chief Inspector, because Laurie kind of has issues choosing a good team. So Chief Inspector, do you wear red this time of year, or do you just wear blue this time of year?
I should have worn my red.
Oh my
God.
God.
Thumbs it all the way.
Thank you.
Come on now. I mean, was that a question?
Wow.
Jamal, all I can say to you is that today you are amongst winners, okay? You're in a room full of winners, except for you.
We have to do better with our guests on the show, folks. We've been outnumbered. I wish you both a great holiday, though. Enjoy Cotton Match.
Yeah, same to you.
I hope it's a wonderful one for you. Talk soon. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks. That was Chief Inspector Derricka Burns, Bermuda Police Service, and Laurie Sheill, the Executive Director of Center Against Abuse. My goodness, is no one a St. George's fan anymore? We've been asking since June, and I swear only like 2 or 3 people. 2 or 3 people. This is a shame. But folks, if you appreciated that most important conversation, make sure you give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues. We're going to take our final break. We've got Christmas in July coming up after this, so you don't want to miss. We have a giveaway. All right, don't miss this giveaway. But also, I'll give my final thoughts on both this morning's discussion and the conversation with both Chief Inspector Burns and Executive Director Sheill.
Children love to play and have fun, and they love gifts even more, especially ones that they can enjoy and learn from. With Bermuda Trivia coloring books, kids can explore the island while they color, learn, and create. The perfect activity for fun and learning together. Available now.
Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on your favorite social media platforms to learn more.
Yeah, I don't got this. I'm gonna be fast at delivery on.
Oh, don't pay me enough for that, man.
Oh, man, sugar! Okay, who's the faster? Who's the faster than me? Talk to me. No more stress. Just sit back.
For over 70 years, Bermuda Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses island-wide. We offer a full suite of services, including rodent control, termite fumigation, and general insect control and maintenance. Our team of experts will quickly and efficiently eliminate any pest problem you may have. With Bermuda Pest Control, you can enjoy a pest-free home in no time. We're committed to providing fast, reliable, and solution-driven services for our customers. It's what we've been doing since 1952. Call Bermuda Pest Control today and say goodbye to pests for good.
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
Bermuda, there's nothing like a home-cooked meal, especially when you can feed the whole family without stretching your wallet.
With the affordable Bermuda basket, you'll find savings on everyday staples like rice, chicken, corn, and more. Everything you need to make a good meal for less. Shop the Bermuda basket at Lindo's, Marketplace, the Garden Market, and the English Market. Visit costofliving.gov.bm to see the full list of goods and start planning your meals. This is a message from the Ministry of Home Affairs.
Life moves fast, and so can the unexpected. When you insure your home, you need to know that your insurance company has your back. At Friesenbrook, let one of our friendly and professional agents give you that peace of mind. Because when you are covered, you are confident. Call us at 296-3600 or visit friesenbrook.bm to learn more.
Guess what? Bermuda's most popular game is back. That's right, Shoe Buy is back in stores. But wait, there's more. The brand new Shoe Buy Summer Edition is here too. Bring the laughs, the vibes, the friendly chaos to your barbecues and summer get-togethers with Bermuda's favorite game. Don't miss your chance to get yours. Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on social media to learn more.
One lucky box in the summer edition has a golden ticket with the chance to win a grand prize courtesy of One Communications.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Big Show. Thanks again to Chief Inspector Burns and Executive Director of the Center Against Abuse, Laurie Sheill, for stopping by. Even though they're Summers fans, we're not going to hold it against them, folks. It happens. Not all of us know how to choose well when it comes to sports teams. All right, it's okay. We've got, even you audience, man, you all Summers folk, like, come on, what's going on here? You noticed that her signal was strong when she was talking about Somerset. I don't know, Sugar. I don't know. Thank you, Sherry Lynn, and Suzanne showing up with the St. George's folks. Shona Sumner kind of rude her. She says, meant to have T-shirts on hand for St. Joe folks that read, "This is our year," their yearly mantra. We mean it this year, though. We mean it this year. Seriously, we mean it this year. Sherilyn Pringle says, I don't think that pest control commercial should be played. Too much red, but you know what? You are absolutely correct. Big up to yourself, Jay Miners and T-Cat Wilson. We appreciate you, St. George's fans, into his house. Look, this is the only time discrimination is cool, folks. If you see someone wearing red in July, you do not have to say the Bermudian good morning. You can act as if you don't see them, all right? That's my bias right there. All right, folks, I want to give a big thanks to our partners, the BAC group of companies, HSBC, Bermuda Medical House, Linda's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 1075. And I want to say to Hot 1075, Gwen and Glenn Blakeney, everyone who's been a part of Hot 1075 the last 22 years, congratulations on 22 years. The only Black-owned media company in Bermuda. Yeah, think about that. It's not easy, and they deserve a lot of love and plaudits. So congratulations to Glenn and Gwen and everyone at Inter-Island Communications on 22 years of Hot 1075. All right, I got to give you your, what's it called? The Daily Play. All right, time for the Daily Play. Brought to you by Bermuda Trivia. Folks, Bermuda Trivia Edition's Cup Match Edition. Go get it so you know more about Cup Match. Shoe Buy is the funnest game you will play at your barbecues, get-togethers this summer. Or they are now available at various stores from Somerset right down to St. George's. So go check it out. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, are you ready? Here we go. I've given you this question before, so I hope you get the answer. Audience, what is the name of Taylor Swift's first hit single? You all don't remember me telling you the story? Her first hit single? No, it was not Shake It Off. It was not Swifty Romance. Is that a song? Suzanne Ingham says, Jamal, I don't know. Yes, J Minus, it was Tim McGraw. So you all remember I got my start at Radio Disney, and then I moved on to country radio station. And I was at Cat Country as a morning show producer at Cat Country 98.1 WCTK in Rhode Island. And while I was there, I was in with the music director, and they come and you listen to music and you figure out whether it's going to be a hit, whether you play it on the run. And a lot of people forget that Taylor Swift was actually a country artist before she became a pop star. So she started off in country, and it was called Tim McGraw. It was pretty much a tribute to Tim McGraw, who's also a country artist. But yeah, that was her first hit. Yeah, my country days. Oh boy, I love some good country music, folks. You all judge. I'm about to story about Glenn Blakeney, man. Honestly, I'll never forget when I took in my back then. You took like they call them your tapes, right? And he listened and he laughed. He said he worked at a country station, and he laughed in front of me. It was hilarious. It was like, oh, this little black boy from Marsh Folly know about country music. But yeah, it was a time. All right, folks. We got to do the giveaway, but I'll give you the hashtag. The hashtag today, we're going to give you a gift voucher to, well, there's red and blue folks, Bermuda Pest Control, right? No, folks, if you win the gift voucher, Somerset fans are not pests. They're humans, okay? So you can't call Bermuda Pest Control and say you have a pest problem just because you have family members who are for Somerset, all right? So we're doing pest control today, all right? Let's get it up. So what's it called? The hashtag is pest. Bermuda pest. The hashtag is going to be Bermuda, spelled out Bermuda pest. Bermuda pest, all right? Let me give my final thoughts on this morning's discussion first. As far as the conversation about the leadership in the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party, as I stated earlier, if you're going to do a public campaign, just be honest about it. And be different. Be different. And what I mean by be different is engage the public publicly, not just in spaces that you control or you want to be comfortable in. Because politics is not a comfortable space. It never will be. I stand by it that I would love to see one of the strong women in the PLP go for leadership. And even if they're not successful, I would hope that whoever is successful considers them based on what they can bring to the table. Dr. Brown and I, we had an off and on relationship while he was premier. But the lesson I learned from Dr. Brown, at least one lesson I learned from Dr. Brown's premiership, you don't have to like people to be successful with them. Did we learn nothing from the greatest basketball team to ever win a championship in the NBA? Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen didn't hang out with Dennis Rodman. But try beating them all together in a basketball game. Point is, I would hope that whoever is successful, they choose the best people available. And I hope the best people available make themselves or give Bermuda the opportunity to work with them. Enough with the I'm not working under this person, or I'm not bringing this person on under me. Bermudians need the best possible people governing us. I know that's subjective. Or is it? As far as the conversation with Chief Inspector Burns and Laurie, I'm grateful. These conversations are never easy. And I hope that if nothing else, we took something from today's conversation that could help or heal someone we know and love. All right, folks, let's do the giveaway. You all are ready. All right, let's hit that button. Let's see. All right. Who's it going to be? Gift voucher for Bermuda Pest Control. Well, that stopped early. Hedleen Stevenson. Congratulations, Hedleen. Hedleen, who is your cup match team? I don't think I know your cup match team. I should have said only St. George's people can win today. So who's your cup match team, Hedleen? Hedleen Stevenson Swan. Please send an email to engage@thedailyhour.com today to collect your winnings. All right. send us an email today to collect your winnings at engage@dailyhour.com. But Headley, congratulations to you. Says, I cannot believe I won. Well, tell us who your cup match team is. We want to know who your cup match team is. You know, that might depend on whether you actually get the, I'm joking. You'll get your prize. You'll get your prize. All right, folks. Let me give you some daily inspiration because we've been on here for pretty long today. Here's your daily inspiration. This comes from my book, The Journey Within. One day, you may wake up and realize that everything you've ever wanted is no longer there. Then you realize it's the best thing that's ever happened for you because it was never what you needed. End quote. Do with that what you will, folks. Headline is for Somerset and St. George. My goodness. My goodness. Then your email was received. Someone will be to you, but your email was received. All right, folks, I got to get out of here. I got to let you go. Don't want to make you later for work than you are, but do not forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, BAC Group of Companies, HSBC Bermuda, Medical House Lenders, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 1075 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.